What is up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Got Ryan Lambert and myself. Once again, Shane is out tonight, and we'd like to welcome. Oh, static. We'd like to welcome Jeff Fader and Cody Milton to the program. Thanks, fellas, for jumping on here with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I know you guys have kind of made the live stream rounds lately. I've seen you on some of the other live streams out there, so appreciate you maybe saving the best for last. I don't know. I don't know if you have any more coming up, but we appreciate you getting on here with us.
Glad to have you.
So we're not going to beat around the bush. We want to get on here and talk about your big wins you've had here recently. So 10 Invitational, the 10. Jeff, your tournament was first. You want to break down how that went? I know it was uncanny. It seemed like how many people were watching that via Tourney X during the workday. I don't know how much work got done that week while that was happening, but it was kind of exciting. So kind of go over how you figured that out and what went down there.
All right. Yeah, it was actually pretty cool, with the Tourney X and everything. I was getting messages. There were a bunch of records broken on that. So it was really neat. A lot of people switching between MLF and Tourney X watching this tournament go down. So that was awesome. But, we got there and no pre-fishing was allowed on the lake. So, we were just gunning it and getting out on there the day of. So we got a ride around though, scope things out. I picked my launch and figured out where I wanted to go there with, I think I had the kayak in the water, like 30 minutes to spare. And I kind of, was eyeing up the water again. And while on the ramp, really getting a sense of where the wind of direction is and such, I sort of made a, just a spontaneous decision to go down and check out this funnel on Lake 14. and it paid off. Lines were in as soon as we could launch right at 7 a.m. So a lot of people started fishing right away, and I shot right to it. I knew I wanted to get down there. I wanted to be the one to make that spot. And second cast, it was special. So I was on them right away. It worked out really well.
That was wild. I messaged Ryan and or actually said a comment on the thread about Ryan and I were going. I said, "How about this Michigan guy down in Florida beating everybody up in the grass?" But I guess that lake didn't set up like that, right? It was a different.
Not at all. Where I was at, there was zero grass. Honestly,
that lake's terrible.
Yeah, there was zero grass. I just used the wind, honestly, and fortunately, that little funnel I was sitting on was 3 feet. And it dumped out into 8 feet. And so I used that wind, and it built up some good sediment and whatnot. It muddied up the water a little bit because it funneled in so small. And they were stacked up right where they should have.
Was there a good bit of bait there?
Yeah. As soon as I made it to the funnel, I was on the north end of that. And I saw, cranes and such on the banks down in the south end of the funnel. And I'm like, I thought maybe they would have been on the top side here. So I did 2 casts and caught a big one, and it kind of hung me there for about 10 minutes. I'm like, I'm going to keep fishing here. Well, of course, nothing else. So that one was sort of a loner, I guess. And I shot right down to the south, chased the birds off. And that's where I stayed for the remainder of the day. So yeah, finding the birds really helped the confidence, I guess, going into where I chose on a whim. So, and they stacked up really well right where they should have been.
You want to share any of your secrets?
Numbers coming up on that lake, that's what was ridiculous. Like, we fished it 2 years ago, and I think like maybe 76 inches was the top. Was the top 5. I mean, it was awful. I was like, man, where are these fish coming from? I think there was one 6-pound fish caught out of 60-something people. It was terrible.
Wow. Yeah, they're and I think some have seen me or heard me say that I had taken a lot of breaks in between, which I did. So I really would have been curious to know how many more I could have caught. It was everything it was everything within my will to just sit there for the amount of time I did to sort of let the area rest, because it was a very small area. And, so just letting it rest and sort of picking out the bigger ones was tough, because
you can't burn it up in a 2-day tournament though.
Right, I'm from Michigan. I'm in Bieneville. Right. So, and it worked out really well. I knew the wind was going to be in my favor again. Had to make some adjustments on day 2. The sun came out and pretty much blue sky all day. And so I had to make some little bit of adjustments. They hit early in the morning and then it sort of fell off and just kind of finicky all day. So still managed to put it together. I think 95 inches on day 2. So
when you guys moved on to the 10 and it was just a shootout for big bass, did people pay you to use that spot, or was that just like, what was that? I don't know how that was. That some kind of EBT cards or what was it?
There was
giving back to the less fortunate. I'm not sure.
There were some gentlemen coming up to me offering me some cash, absolutely. But I was like, no, man. And a few already knew, and then of course the buzz sort of circulated, and from what I understand, there was like 12 guys fishing it the next day.
Yeah.
Pictures were and everything. And, I'll tell you, it would have been a different 10 tournament if I would have drew. My biggest regret is not swapping that darn car envelope with Chad.
I heard about that. Yeah.
Oh, it would have been a different turnout for sure, I think, because it was on fire again on day 3, which was the first day of the 10, and those guys had a blast. But for me, though, it was actually really cool. The ironic thing is I had a 3-way tie for big bass. I caught a 20.5 right away on Purvis, and I was in a 3-way tie with 2 other gentlemen who fished my spot on 14.
I appreciate that, too. That's the first time in 2 years Dave's got a check. If you wouldn't have given him that fish, he'd still be in a drought.
No, I got a lot of messages from the guys that did that. And it was just really cool for me because they thanked me, and they says, they had a downer trip, and that turned it around for them. Some of them got some personal best bass and made some good friends and memories. So it was really cool, actually, afterwards and getting all the replies and such from everybody. So, I appreciated that. I'm glad they had a great time. I certainly wish it would have been me having that great time, but it was really cool.
Did they thank Siddiqui for not entering big bass as well? Did he get that?
I don't know.
Thank you messages?
I don't know. I think he got it. 23 that day, I think.
Now, Jeff, did you have anybody come in on you during the tournament, day 1 and 2? Did you catch any pressure or have any crowding or anything like that?
No, not really. Day 1, I did, and it was all completely unintentional. It was midday. I don't think anyone really might have known who I was at that point. One gentleman kind of come rolling in, and I just said, "Hey, I'm over here," and he literally backed up and kind of moved on and fished the shoreline off to the side there. And day 2, there was a bit more traffic, but it was more or less people coming through and sort of being curious, I think. But they completely respected the spot, and I just sort of, verbally said, "Hey, there's an area." I think in another interview I said 30 yards, but I mean this whole cove area wasn't even 30 yards, so it's more like 30 feet. But it was just this little area where the funnel was dumping into, and they respected it well and kind of hung out all day, and it was really cool. So I didn't have any on the spot pressure, so it was really fortunate, I guess.
That's good kayak fishing etiquette.
Absolutely, and I think there was a bit of that going on. Yeah, there was a lot of that going on that week, and even in the 10, Cody can attest to that too. I think we had a great time.
I'll tell you, it was exciting to watch, and I know during the 10 Invitational, Cody, you made a run there on day 2, and gained some ground. And what did you finish in the 10 Invitational? I forget. It was 3rd, 2nd, something.
Yeah, it was 5th, I think.
But you made a run, and if I understand the doc talk right, you kind of carried that over into the actual 10 on the weekend. Is that right? Uh-oh, we're losing him.
Yeah.
Come on, Cody. Don't do Arkansas proud, buddy.
Classic Arkansas internet.
Arkansas 3G. No, he'll be right back. But
yeah,
he's kind of hearing me, but he's kind of not. Come on, Cody. There he goes.
Oh.
He'll be back in a second.
Mama, take 3 steps to the left.
Put that aluminum on the antennas over there. So,
am I good now?
Now you're good. Now you're good. All right.
There we go.
I can't actually hear y'all as well, but I think y'all can hear me.
Yeah, we hear you good now. Did you hear my question?
Can you say it again?
No, basically, I saw that you made a run in the 10 Invitational and then looked like you carried that into the weekend. Did you do the same thing and just kind of refine that pattern, or how'd that go?
It was the same bait, and I just got lucky that Jeff drew Lake Purvis as much as anything. Yeah, it was actually pretty funny. I threw that because I used that the first day. I was just on another lake. It was a harvester rig by Hog Farmers, and when I got back home, 32 hours. So I guess it's a good workout. I don't know.
What you laughing at, son?
This is a joke. I don't know what's happening right now.
Yeah.
I hear his words, and then I see his face moving real fast.
I feel like we're watching like a Max Headroom repeat from the 80s.
So a harvester rig from Hog Farmer is what I got. That's the ticket. All right.
Yep.
That harvester's a big one. You know, they make some that are a little bit smaller.
Yeah, that was the 7-hook rig, which honestly, if I wouldn't have been from Arkansas, I probably would have never had it. I think it's probably like one of 2 states that you can throw that thing in. So it was, we were on private water, so it was allowed. But yeah, I mean, that thing's a real deal. I've always said the more bait you can put on there, the better. So it seemed to be the case that weekend.
So
I threw a BFL rig all day today, and it was pretty on time today too. Yeah.
So you heard that, Ryan?
That's a good one.
Arkansas has giant A rigs and horrible internet. So
Mate, if you put your A rigs on your cell phone towers, y'all might get some better service.
That'd be
out there.
fantastic. Try that.
He's gone.
Oh, this was a good joke.
We're getting prayers for better Wi-Fi. Rest in peace, Cody. We got all kinds of messages coming in on him. Bless his heart. Whoa, now we got dogs barking. Things are going crazy in here. What's wrong with you? So, Cody, can you hear us all right?
I can hear y'all fine. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. So, did you weren't you fishing near another competitor during the 10 over the weekend?
Oh.
Or kind of sharing the same water? Is that right?
Yes, I was. It was actually I decided in the 10 Invitational I just kind of wanted to hit all the lakes, and one of my good friends, Eric Siddiqui, was claiming he found this giant school of bass on Purvis, and I guess it was probably like 8 o'clock on. I guess it was Thursday. I ended up making it over there, and he was like, "Dude, just dump out right here." And no joke, it was. I marked like 6 or 7 bass moving on the right side of my side scan, and pitched out a Hog Farmers. And the first cast I made was a triple, and it was wild. They were all suspending over like 22 foot of water. It was like you really couldn't catch them on the bottom very well unless the sun got up, and for whatever reason, they weren't hitting like single spin, underspins and stuff like that. It was a unique deal. They weren't all that easy to catch, but it's like you would just catch spurts where they bite really well.
Florida doesn't seem like an A-rig place. It seems like a weird place to get on them with an A-rig.
Yeah, that's true. It's pretty funny. I've cashed, I think, at 3 checks in Florida. And it's been on an A-rig, a 1-ounce jig, and a Carolina rig. So none of those sound like Florida baits to me. So.
Yeah, that's wild.
But yeah, like 2 of those are at Bieneville. Lake 14, where Jeff won, I won, I think, 2 years ago on a football jig, and I would have never thought that either. But those strip pits are a little unique for sure.
Now,
did you and Eric's rods, did your rods touch at all during the 10?
Did the what?
Did your rods touch at all during the 10?
I don't know.
It was close. It was close.
It was. Oh yeah.
You probably would have known.
I think we probably got hung up on each other at least once. So it's possible.
Sounds painful.
I got to witness it all too. I was just on the outside of it.
We're trying to get in
No,
on
it
that.
sounds like a good time. I mean, those are some huge numbers that were put up for both tournaments on both lakes. That was y'all had a good, sounds like the good stretch of the tough bite. It was pretty rough on pretty much the rest of the field, it looked like.
Yeah.
And historically, hasn't it been kind of a tough deal down there? I haven't seen those numbers put up like that.
This was my third year down there, and it's just a one place spot. And I think it's because two of the lakes are like under 400 acres. So pretty much all the bait fish and fish are in one spot. And Lake 14, in my opinion, like when I put up like 96, 97 there, it was just a one cast spot. But kind of like Jeff was talking about, it's weird. It's a weird place. I mean, it's famous and it's a cool place, but it's not like you see in the old Bill Dance videos, I would say.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot tougher than I thought it was going to be. But fishing it in the winter too that doesn't really tell the tale of a trophy destination either. Obviously the bite's going to be tougher then than it's going to be for the rest of the year. And I know there are several spots with pads and grass where it's a little more predictable fishing once the weather warms up some. So in my mind, I tell myself that it's got to be a lot better if you go down there.
You would hope.
Or something.
Right. I would think so.
Those were,
What are you guys fishing this year? What's on your schedule, Fader? What are you trying to hit?
Central KBF region, pretty much all of them that I can, and then I'm going to be doing the Hobie series as well, the BOS, starting out with Chickamauga next week. So.
Oh, you coming down?
Absolutely. I've never been there, so I'm pretty excited.
Fine. Come on.
Yeah, I'm coming. Pretty excited, actually. So just anxious to get on some new waters with that one too. So
it's a good one. It's a good time. Good time to be down here. This is when the Giants get caught. Is this time of year?
I'm seeing them being posted, man. It's just got me geeked.
Look behind
Hope
Ryan's
one of them's
head.
mine.
Just gotta look behind
Yeah, I
Ryan's
know.
head right there. Yeah.
Rubbing it in.
I wish I caught that. I'm glad it was one of my buddies, but I kind of wish I would have got to touch it. It's all right though. What about you, Cody? What are you fishing this year?
Man, I think I'm doing 4 of the Southeast KBFs and 3 of the Hobies. The Chickamaugas, I think Chickamauga and Shasta are the only ones I'm not making on the Hobie. I think I'm not doing the 3 rivers on the Southeast, but I don't know. Everybody's been telling me I need to get down there.
You're missing a good one on the 3 rivers, man.
Man, I don't know. The moving waters though. I don't know.
Take those fins out.
Right.
You're gonna be fine. Come on, you'll be all right.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see when it falls.
Now,
but yeah, I'm headed to Santee after the Indianapolis boat show this weekend, so we'll see how it goes. I know the weather's warming up there, and I think we got a full moon on Wednesday, so they should be biting down there too.
How many events did you fish last year to get that AOY title?
I fished 9 events last year, and I think I'll do what is it? I think I'll do 9 or 10 again this year.
talking about live.
So we'll see. I'm trying to cut back a little bit, but it's hard. They're fun to go to.
Everybody says that every year, and then you end up packing like 26
No,
events
I know.
every year. And
Yeah.
Cody, you got to be relieved that they're not putting the online stuff as part of the AOY. That'll take a little bit of the heat off, right?
No, absolutely. I mean, like I kind of said last time, literally half the time I was fishing was just trying to catch 105 inches in Arkansas, which last year seemed to always just all be in Northwest Arkansas. So I was driving like 3 hours every weekend to go up there. So it was tough. But no, I'm sure I might do 1 or 2 of those online tournaments, but that's probably going to be it. I don't know. They're not for me, I guess. So it's a lot of time for not much.
Yeah. Takes up your open weekend. Yeah.
Scott Jensen wants to know, did you find the spot on 14 on the map in preparation, or did you come across it like on the water, tourney day?
I honestly didn't know where I was going to go until I was ready to shove off, like I was saying about maybe 20-30 minutes before shove off, I actually picked it, and it had everything to do with the way the wind was, whipping through. And I seen kind of a long throat area of the channels that, Cody was talking about, how it's all dredged out. And I figured it'd, bring up a good amount of wind onto that little funnel there, separating the north and south part. And I picked this one particular launch that was a really nice, short, straight run right to it. And it paid off. So I picked it by map, honestly. So didn't know water depths, didn't even know temps, didn't know anything. So sort of went with what my gut said according to the weather conditions.
Nice. That paid off. Good instincts.
Yeah. For 2 days, 3 days, actually.
Steve asked if we could not drink any beer for the next 5 minutes. He's still at work. Sorry.
No.
Here's one for you.
Cheers.
Sorry about that, Steve. It's time for a career change, buddy. And if Jim, if you will lead everybody in wishing Shane well. He's not feeling great tonight, so if you could keep him in his thoughts, that'd be great.
He don't feel good. He said he was going to be on here in the comments. I hadn't seen him yet. We'll see if he comes in hot with some cough medicine takes. Yeah.
Hard to keep a laptop on the toilet.
Now, Jeff, do you have a local trail that you're going to fish up there in Michigan? Are you part of anything up your way?
Absolutely. The Cats, Midwest. I'll be running all of those, actually. And then also Michigan Kayak Trail. And I think I'm going to be able to squeeze in one of the Michigan, Ohio. There's a newer series a couple of years into it now, and they put on a good event as well. And I think we'll be able to make it to one of those. But we got a lot of good series up here to participate locally, so I'm pretty fortunate in that sense. So anytime I don't have to travel, I'm literally on the water regardless. So pretty busy. I get quite a few events every year.
Yeah, that's awesome. A lot of people don't have that local. It seems like, there's a lot of local trails out there, but there's people that kayak fish all over the place that don't have that fortunate deal where they can just go out the back door and have some tournaments to fish in.
Right. I recognize that. I'm pretty fortunate up here. With the series that we have too are awesome. I mean, great payout, great prizes, good sponsors, and they've been, traction and just getting better and better every year. So the directors do a heck of a job and keeps us busy up here.
Yeah,
Cody, do you fish with the natural light kayak anglers there in Arkansas?
Easy.
I've done the beaver tournament the last 2 years, which I started thinking. I think I actually did 11 tournaments ago. I think I fished 2 of them last year.
Yeah.
I think I did beaver and what was it? Bull Shoals maybe or something like that.
You drove up here to fish.
Maybe it was like North Beaver and South Beaver.
You drove over here to fish.
I like them. I was just talking to Jeff before. I was wanting to do either the Beaver one or the Grewers Ferry one, but I think I've got like some race or something I'm supposed to do that weekend, so I may be out for that one.
Race.
Oh, what?
I don't know how I got drug into that.
A race?
Yeah, it's for some reason. Yeah.
Like a Hobie race or what kind?
A leg race or running race.
Yeah, Cody, last year you came to our Beaver Lake event and helped us set our club record for attendance, and you left because you thought you had a bad day and you came in the money. I had to DM you and say, hey, man.
Yeah, I thought it would be, a little better than it was. But, yeah, it was good. It's that same little – I don't know. The Wigglewort and Beaver Lake just go, like, hand in hand. Let's always go there and throw a Wigglewort.
All those White River Lakes, man. All those White River Lakes, same way.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, yeah, I hope you come back over.
I'm going to write that down.
Say what?
Wigglewort, Beaver Lake.
Wigglewort, Beaver Lake. Only the pre-Rapalas. Yep. No, I'm just kidding. They all work.
Oh, damn. There went a sponsorship.
People asking, are you fishing Table Rock this year, fellas? I don't know what events on. I guess the Central KBF Trail Championship's on Table Rock, right?
Correct.
That's a long way from home for you.
The only local event in the Central Division I have is St. Clair. My next closest is like 9 hours away. So,
wow,
a lot of driving.
Tough division.
It is.
Yeah, they're like 9, 11, and I think 14 hours away. So, It's a stretch.
Here I
You want
was.
enough to cover your gas.
Here I was complaining, Ryan. I was mad that I had to go to one that was like 10 hours away for the Central. They're all closer to me, so I guess I got to stop complaining.
Yeah.
I've seen Russell Johnson here in the comments. I didn't realize Russell Johnson was not on KBN at all until like this last week. And he was like the, top 25. What was it? Should have been top 25.
He was the people's champion. Everybody came rallying for support for him.
In here.
Yeah, he's like the
Crazy.
Intercontinental People's Champion for that deal. Yeah.
Welcome, Russell Johnson.
Mm-hmm. You have a 3-pole limit. This is a serious question, guys. You have a 3-pole limit. How are you set up for the winter spring tournaments? How are the setups? I don't really understand that question. I think he's asking if you could only have 3 poles, what would you put on there for the winter and spring tournaments?
Oh.
Braid, fluoro, and copolymer.
I got you. Ned rigs on all 3. Rock and roll.
Yep. Depending on cover, you switch.
Yeah. Trying to get caught up with some of the comments here. Jim Clark asked if Shane has just for men poisoning. I don't know if that's really a thing or not. It's kind of messed up.
So seriously though, 3 baits for the winter spring. I'm gonna say mine probably a jerk bait, a trap, and an A rig. Next.
I'd probably say a blade bait, a rig, and a jig.
Yeah, I'm going blade bait, a jig, and I don't know. I kind of gained some confidence in this wobbler, so I don't know. I might start throwing that all the darn time.
The wobbler? What's the wobbler? What are you talking about?
Just cause. It's what I caught the majority of them on at the Invitational, and it's also from Hog Farmer. It's their hog wobbler.
The chatterbait? What is that? I'm not familiar with
No,
that.
it's like a scrounger head.
Okay, I got you.
Tail swim bait.
I got
you. But yeah, I don't know. I'm a cranking guy, moving baits guy. So
it looks something like that.
Blade.
Yep.
Yeah, just like that there.
I heard they catch a few. I don't know.
Yep.
Okay.
I actually dotted mine up for for our event. That's what I ran them.
Okay. That's the one.
Are you bringing one with you to Chickamauga?
Say again.
Are you bringing one with you to Chickamauga?
Of course.
Wouldn't be a bad idea.
More than
no,
one.
I have a few boxes and a few packages that showed up.
You can stop by his shop while you're down here. He's in Saudi, right at Chickamauga.
I just might have to do that.
Cody, what about you? What do you throw? What's your number one? What's your go-to? When the bite gets tough,
if it's below 50, I feel like an A rig's like the only thing I can catch a fish on now. And I hate that, but that's what it feels like. If I'm in Arkansas, a crankbait's pretty big. Wigglewort, rock crawler. But that, I don't know. I've been all about the blade bait lately too. I mean, that thing catches them all. It really does.
Yep.
But
all times of the year.
For sure.
Jeff, what about you? Do you fish in the winter? I saw you posted some pictures of the fog, so I know you were out there.
Hey man, I posted some fish pics too, but that's not real fishing. That was on Swepco, which is a power plant lake. Water's 70 degrees, and it was like 15 degrees outside, but the water 70 with steam coming off of it. Fish are post spawn already. Some of them still spawning. So you don't count. Yeah, you can't count that place. That's a wild place. But no, over on Beaver Lake, I'm like Cody. I'm throwing rock crawlers, A rigs, and football jig. Be the 3 go-tos around in these parts. Let's see. Any more questions on?
I'm locked up here, so.
Yeah, you're frozen. You can just drill. You can drill holes and drop whatever you want in the holes, right?
Yeah, kayaks in the garage, and there's pop-up tents all over the lake. So.
Are you into that?
No, not too much. I used to be, but not as of late. Just no time.
I got you.
At least you have a good excuse for off time, though, once the lake's frozen solid. Down here, the lakes don't freeze, so people want to run tournaments 12 months out of the year.
I don't. When they freeze up, I'm working shows and doing a lot of other stuff, so it keeps me busy every weekend.
Now, I'm
Jeff,
assuming.
have you made the decision to come to Chickamauga yet, or are you still?
Talking to this Jeff right here?
Yep.
No, I'm not coming. No offense. Can't make it. Schedule's jammed. Everybody's getting jammed, but I had to kind of pick and choose which ones I could go to, and that was just that one's not going to make the cut.
All right, man.
It's heartbreaking. I'd like to come, but yeah, it's not going to be this time. Looks like the Hobies I'm going to do are going to be Lake Fork, and I'm going to make it to Kentucky Lake in the spring, and then a couple of satellites.
That'd be good. Kentucky's always fun.
Yeah, and I've never fished it in that time of year, so that'd be a little bit different in May. So
Russell Johnson says, smallmouth or largemouth? What's your favorite?
I fish more largemouth, but my favorite are smallmouth. I have St. Clair, so a better place.
Are you like right there?
What about you?
I mean, I've got to say largemouth, but I don't know. Our Table Rock's the only place near me that's got good smallmouth, so that's a better question for Fader.
And
St. Clair will ruin you. I do know that.
Yeah.
Cody?
We've got mostly. I live right between Gunnersville and Chickamauga, so obviously it's great for largemouth. But there's about a month out of the year when you can drill smallmouth in the spring, and when that turns on, you can't tell me anything different. I'm sitting there trying to catch every smallmouth that I can for that entire month. They fight so much harder. I mean, it's
just something about them.
Yeah, it's crazy. I wish there were better smallmouth fishing year round here, but greenfish ain't bad either.
Cody, come over our way and we'll hit Pupback Lake in Oklahoma. You ever heard of that?
I went there. Literally, I think I went there in, I don't know. It was probably June. I bet I caught 70 largemouth, and I didn't catch one smallmouth.
There's giants in there.
Yeah, that's why I went, and I didn't catch one smallmouth.
Yeah, it's weird. 200 feet
crazy.
deep. It's kind of hard to find them sometimes. Some of those,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? They get out there and suspended. But
it's a cool place.
another question from the crowd. No tournament, just fun fishing. Five pounders or 1 10-pounder fishing for 5 hours?
110.
Yeah, I think that's a hands down.
Not a question. Not a question. You might as well make it 10 hours for 1 10-pounder. I don't care.
Yeah.
I've talked to some guys that are big swim baiters, throwing the giant baits, and they'll go 2 months without a bite to catch something like that.
Sure.
So, I don't know about all that, but, sometimes that addiction to the big uns can change your way of thinking. 110 all day, 110 all day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just, being from Michigan and my experience I just had down in Florida, I went down, I was just like, I had a just simple goal. I was like, let's just get some personal bests. And I think I broke it 4 times down there.
Oh, wow.
I just kept upgrading and upgrading and upgrading with size, so it's just an incredible week.
I guess coming from the Midwest,
I don't have a
10-pounder
under my belt, so.
Yeah.
When are you coming down? When do you arrive down here on Chickamauga?
I think I'm going to be getting down there Thursday, I believe. Me and Percy are coming down.
Well, stay on the water as long as you can.
Yeah.
From sun up to sundown, even after. That'll be your best shot.
All right. Sounds good.
I think there's been 26 10-pounders caught since January 1st.
Of this year?
Yeah.
I might change my plans. I don't know.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's dirty. It is dirty. Now, you may not catch 100 fish in a day. You may only get 5 bites, but there's a good chance it's going to be a big fish.
It's awesome.
Aaron White says we all need to get the Susky River in our lives. I've never been up there, but seeing the pictures, that sounds like it does need to be a bucket list trip.
Aaron White don't know nothing.
Yeah.
He's throwing them spinner baits all day. Now that is a bucket list. I wanted to make that KBF last year, but it flooded out. Like the whole river was blown out. I don't know. I think they ended up still having the tournament, but it was just ridiculous water moving through there. It's definitely on the list though, for sure.
Jay Carsman, one more question, kind of one of these what ifs. He's asking 6 pounds smallie or 10 pounds largemouth. What's your preference?
I'm going to have to go with 10-pound largemouth because I haven't hit that yet. I've already got the 6 pound smallie.
He's like 6 pound smallie.
That's a loaded question.
That's all day.
Now I know that 6 pound smallie was an absolute blast, but I'm going for PB there.
If you make it a 7 pound smallmouth, I think that's a little more getting closer on the equivalent. Down here, we have that magic month I was telling you about. We have some guys catching 6.5 pounds, but if you break 7, that's pretty rare. That's about equivalent to a 10 pound largemouth.
That's awesome.
Cody, what do you got?
Man, I don't know. That's a tough one. Just from where I am, I'll probably go with the 6 pound smallmouth. But I know there are a lot of 6 pounders up there, but I'd probably still have to go with the 6 pound smallmouth.
Cody's like, I'll take a 30-pound brown trout over there where you're at.
I would that's really what I need.
Over where
It
you're at.
was a really
40
bad
pounds
spawn this year. The water's killed us.
All right. Any more questions you see in there, Ryan, coming in?
Other than AJ McWhorter saying, "Come on, Jeff," he's calling you out.
I know, man. He is. I'd like to make that trip, but it doesn't look like it's in the cards. You never know.
He's scared, AJ. If you show up, that may be the first PDL we've ever had on Chickamauga.
Don't even start with that kind of smack talk.
I'm serious. I don't think there's ever been one to touch it. Well, I take that back. We got one guy in our local club that's got one. There's been one that's touched the lake.
Hey, talk to your boy Pendergraph. He'd be rolling up in one, I bet, this year.
No, he's trying to bum a kayak. He's actually trying to buy a Titan while he's out here.
No.
Yeah, I got the DM, son.
All right. Damn it. Well.
Ooh. Josh Stewart says 8-foot sailfish.
What?
Boy went down there and touched that salt one time, and he is hooked. Giving up.
That was a fun sight to see. He was riding the waves well.
Yeah.
All right. What'd you say? Somebody asked, anyone know anything about Shreveport? Asking about the Red River. Is it flooded? They heard the Susky was high. Is the Red River in Shreveport flooded right now? You guys heard anything on that? I know that's a month away or over a month away before we all head down there.
I know it's really high. I forgot the last number I saw, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be a no-go.
Really?
I mean, even like Caddo Lake is even like 3.5 foot high right now.
That's
much less like the Red River. So I'm pretty sure the Red River's like six plus.
I've never been down there, but looking at the Google Maps, it's like just a red clay mess. I'm really not excited to fish it anyway, but it looks like from all the research you do that, there's good fish in the Red River.
Yep. Actually, like this, I think the same weekend we're down there is when is within like 10 days when both of those 16 pounders got caught within the last 5 years. So
yeah.
There's some big ones down there. I was at Shreveport Boat Show 4 weeks ago, and they were holding it was 94 teams in it, and there was a 2-fish tournament, and I bet there was probably 16 bags over 10 pounds on that place.
2-fish tournament. Wow.
I mean, that's pretty decent it was probably like 28 degrees that day too. And they were still hammering, 6-7 pounders.
That sounds good then.
Josh Stewart said he's catching those sailfish in backwaters.
Ned rigs in the backwaters.
Ned rigs in backwaters.
He was getting seasick, he's going to have to be catching them in backwaters.
Josh Stewart's throwing an A-rig for sales. I guarantee it. I know him. He'll have one strapped on top of the hatchback.
Pop R. He says Pop R. Yeah. Well, I don't see any more questions rolling in. You guys have anything else you want to add before we get out of here for the night? Ryan, you want to give us a chick update?
It was good today. The sun came out for a little while. The water, it's rained a lot, so the water's a little high and stained. And man, when that sun hit, the fish turned on. They were biting really well today. So looking at the forecast, it's going to be nothing but rain until the Tuesday after the Hobie event. So if we're lucky, the water's going to get up. So far, they haven't let the lake level rise too much. They've been running it through the dams pretty well. But I'm hoping they let the water come up. If the water comes up, you'll see some really, really good stringers coming in. AJ said there's 82 anglers signed up already. And I looked for that number. I'm guessing myself probably around 120 to 130.
Nice.
Should be a really good turnout.
Awesome.
And it's a list of the heavy hitters out here in this sport. There's a lot of good anglers going to this thing. Guys that have been around and done some damage at national tournaments. So it should be a good field.
And there's been some local guys that have been wearing out the big fish. So it'll be really interesting. I don't think it'll be like a completely local top 5, but there's 2 or 3 names that I put money on seeing in the top 10 anyway.
Nice. Well, I look forward to watching it on the Tourney X if I can. Or is it on iAngler?
iAngler.
Yeah,
so theirs is on iAngler. We're also our local club TVKA. We're running our local trail event in conjunction with the Hobie Bass Open on Saturday. It's a 3-fish tournament on Tourney X.
Gotcha.
If anybody wants to sign up for that, you're more than welcome.
And Cody, you'll be over at Santee. We'll be watching you over there. Good luck in defending your title. It's the first step, right? In defending the title.
It is first tournament.
The 10 didn't count for anything.
Year, I guess.
Right? 10 didn't count for any points or anything. So this is the first deal, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, good deal. Well, fellas, we appreciate you jumping on here. That was a good time talking to you, and hopefully you can both do well next weekend. And if so, maybe you both win, and we have you back on here the following week. That'd be sick.
Let's do it, Cody.
Let's make a plan for it.
Yeah. And
that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Best wishes out to Shane. Hope he gets over his just for men poisoning or whatever he had. And we'll see y'all next week. Appreciate you, fellas.